Well, hello, everyone. Welcome to our week 7 episode. We've been going at this for 7 weeks now. I just cannot believe it. It's been wonderful. We have one more episode in this series, and then we'll be putting all the information together. So, for those of you who would like the written part of all of these, you can reach out to us at send us an email um, through our website at getcareerdoctor.com. That's getcareer, GETCAREER doctor.com. Excuse me. And by reaching out to us there, we will get you, you can access for all of the writings. I think it'll make for, if you're in college and you're writing about leadership, or if you're someone who is not in college, but you like to work with women and you'd like to know a little bit more about working with Black women specifically, you can reach out and I request one of the ebooks that we're putting together from all the articles we've written. So let's go. So our podcast today is about unleashing your inner power, leadership lessons for you as any woman, but since this podcast is about Black women and how to work better with them and how for them to work better with, be great in working with others, we are going to stick with that topic. So welcome back to our podcast. Again, today we're going to dive into driving into transformative discussions on personal power. And we're drawing that from the inspiration from the profound insights of Wallace D. Wattles. In this today's episode, we explore the what personal power means and why it's a critical component of leadership, especially for Black women carving out their paths in various leadership roles. So, what is personal power, Dr. Carroll? Well, personal power is about harnessing your inner strength, mastering yourself, and aligning your actions with your deepest values and principles. So it's a little bit like a little bit of some emotional intelligence, definitely there. Understanding who you are and where you are. And so a lot of probably Deepak Chopra and other writers in this particular area that have written about your personal thoughts. I think it's an awesome topic, and I find it intriguing that even though Wallace D. Wattles goes back to about 114 years ago when he wrote his book, I thought it was great. It was recommended to me by a lot of prosperous women. They were not women of color, but they were women that I thought I enjoyed the conversations with them, and they made a huge impact. And this person has made a huge impact on them. So I read the book, and I had already read all the other books that are similar to Wallace D. Wattles. And I thought, you know what? Let's put this together, because if I keep hearing the same thing and people who have followed some of these practices over and over again, and they will never see themselves as victims or anything else, I thought, let's get this out there. I want us, if nothing else, that those of us who are partaking in this podcast and listening to it, that we're able to take away that strength that we have and the power within us, each of us, as Black women or any woman, that you have in you to make a difference. And we've been making a difference every day since the beginning of time to me. For Black women, this power is not just a tool for personal process. It's a beacon that guides them through really the complexities and challenges of leadership in any sphere. So as we unfold and tap into this incredible strength, I pray that it transforms your career and impact the world around you. This transformative power is within your reach. It really sparks hope and motivation for a brighter future. So Wattles, compelling notion that the most accurate form of power stems from within, is rooted in self-control and self-awareness. This concept isn't just philosophical, it's practical and deeply relevant, especially for Black women leaders who navigate unique challenges and landscapes of professional and personal challenges. Recognizing the significance of personal power for Black women and leadership roles, it's a step towards understanding and validating our experiences. So to bring this idea to life, let's look at the experiences of remarkable Black women who really embody this power. For example, Michelle Obama's tenure as First Lady was marked by her visible role and formidable grace and resilience. She often spoke about the power of staying true to oneself and the importance of self-definition. In our own words, I am good enough. And yes, I am. This simple affirmation is a profound exercise in self-awareness and control. It really showcases her ability to maintain her integrity and vision despite external pressures. And Lord knows she's probably under a lot of pressures as the First Lady of our country. So by embracing these internal powers, we as Black women leaders can not only pave the way for our success, but also become beacons of of inspiration and strength for others. I providing really the leadership, or proving, guys, that leadership is not about where you start, but how you harness your inner abilities to impact the world. And this happens on a daily basis in everything we touch and do. So we have to be cautious about how we carry ourselves. Be true to yourself, but don't just be out there trying to be somebody else. Be who you are in its truest form. And true enough, we all have to critique ourselves to become better each and every day. So by embracing our internal powers, we really do really pave the way for our success, but also become those beacons of inspiration and strength for others, proving that leadership is not about where you start, but how you harness your inner abilities and the impact that you have on the world. Even small, if you can impact one person, you have made a significant impact on the world. So Wattles had some great things I wanted to discuss with us. And along with some other authors I'll mention at the end of this episode. Wattles' influential idea that our thoughts have the transformative power to shape our reality is so true. And this principle is so important, or it's a main point for anyone in a leadership role, particularly us as Black women who often face unique challenges in our professional environments. What Wattles teaches and what I read and concentrated and studied on about Wattles, and it was similar to what I had done in my PhD program and studying positive leadership behaviors, self-efficacy, optimism, resilience. All of those components are just extremely important, not only when I did the dissertation, but back 114 years ago and then some, and even in the moment that we are today. So Waddle teaches us that we can influence our outcomes in our lives and our careers by controlling our thoughts and maintaining a positive, assertive outlook. So for Black women in leadership, this means consciously, guys, we're constantly shaping our perceptions, not only how others perceive them, but also how they perceive ourselves and our capabilities. That's very important. And I want to say that to us again. And I know it sounds like I'm lecturing today, but I'm having real talk. And that's what this show is about, to have real talk with you. And this conversation is for you and the audience that want to listen to this information, which I pray that the vision that was given to me is inspiring and opening for you. So some practical advice for leveraging this power includes mindfulness and intentionality. And so in order to have mindfulness and intentionality, we must cultivate a mindfulness habit about our thoughts. We must be intentional about fostering positivity and resilience in our thinking patterns. This can be done through daily affirmations, meditation, or journaling practices that reinforce our goals and the positive impact we aim to make on others. Don't try not to be at least this put up these gates so that every time someone says something, we're fighting back at that. Really put up gates of openness, meaning that we're willing to listen, absorb the information, meditate on it maybe sometimes, and then come back and talk about it later. Visualization. Let's regularly visualize achieving our goals. It's very important that we do that. We picture yourself overcoming challenges and excelling in your role. This technique boosts confidence and prepares your mind to navigate obstacles and seize opportunities. And a lot of what I say in this podcast is not just for Black women, but it's for everyone. And so I really hope you guys listen and take root, but understanding, I want the Black woman to understand how she must, or tools she can use to help her become that which she wants to be. And so reframing challenges, and how we do that is we learn to reframe challenges as opportunities. When faced with a setback, we need to adjust our perspective to see if it's a chance to learn and grow, just like I just stated. This shifts our thought process from seeing problems to finding solutions. And then that's constructive feedback. We can engage with feedback constructively. We can use it to strengthen our thought process and leadership methods rather than as a deterrent to them. Understanding that feedback is a tool for growth and can change how you perceive or how we perceive criticisms and allow us to use it to our advantage. So by mastering the power of thought and perception, we as leaders can create a more affirmative and empowering professional environment for ourselves and for those we lead, pushing through barriers and setting a precedent for success and resilience. So basically, if I sum that up, by integrating our ambitions with our universal values, we can extend our influence beyond the immediate scope of our professional roles. And this integration helps us to achieve broader recognition and respect, essential in traditionally male-dominated or racially homogeneous environments. So you may be asking, how can we as Black women connect to universal power? Well, we must look at value-based leadership. This is, we have to lead with universal values, such as integrity, honesty, and fairness, universal values. And these principles should guide decision-making and interactions both within and outside our organizations. The next is purpose-driven goals. We have to align personal and organizational goals with a greater purpose. This could involve community engagement, corporate social responsibility initiatives, mentorship programs that uplift others, and it's very important that we become mentors for others. Mentorship programs for others, such endeavors, they really enhance our personal fulfillment and build a legacy that resonates with universal themes of growth and empowerment. Next, but not the less, it could be the first, and it's first in my life, spiritual practices. Engage in practices that connect you with a more profound sense of self and purpose. Spiritually, I have to have that. Every morning it is the glue that kind of starts the process, or the electricity that starts the process in my life. This includes meditation, prayer, or other spiritual or reflective practices that can help you to maintain and connect to universal energies and intentions. It really does help, and it's helped me tremendously. Ethical decision making. We have to ensure effective and ethically sound decisions. This adherence to ethical guidelines is really a powerful way to demonstrate alignment with universal principles, because they help us to foster trust and loyalty among team members and stakeholders that are around us. So if we embrace these strategies that I just spoke about, value-based leadership, purpose-driven goals, spiritual practices, and ethical decision-making, we can harness universal power or propel these professional journeys and create impactful legacies that are recognized and revered across broader societal professional spectrums. Next, I want to talk to you about service as a path to power. So service to others isn't just a moral duty, guys. It is a powerful personal and professional growth strategy. So when we as leaders focus on giving back, we enrich our communities, we build networks, and we enhance our reputation and develop new skills. And so here are some things that we pulled out that we can do to increase our influence and leadership opportunities. Real influence, guys. Community programs. I know when I was at the bank, and I'm so grateful for my time at the bank, because I learned more about giving back part of everything I was earning, but also giving back my time, my energy, and my talent. And being a member of our church, Pleasant Hill Baptist Church there, it was awesome because I got a chance to not only give back in ways of funding, I also got an opportunity to give back in ways of talent. I remember being a part of helping the church, being on the board of directors and helping the church secure property and funding to pay for that property. That was amazing. And it taught me some other things outside of just doing my job at the bank, which had nothing to do with securing property or anything of that nature. My role in United Way's Women of Leadership and Women of Tocqueville helped me to really understand political aspirations of individuals and political processes, as well as the processes of nonprofit organizations and how they have to maneuver, what's involved, what it takes, and how the people, because I got so involved, I had the opportunity to understand how the people who became part of those nonprofits worked and what their thought process, their passions were, things of that nature. And then sitting on the board of Georgia CASA, that taught me how to be a part of something I knew nothing about, but needed to know everything about when it came to children and being an advocate and playing the advocacy roles for those children, and how important that was because they needed somebody to have that voice for them. So all of those things really rolled up to my ability through community programs, mentorship programs, advocacy, and activism as I played my role in the nonprofit world. It was just tremendous for me, and it taught me to always find ways to give back. And my way of giving back now is doing these articles, the posts that I do, things of that nature. And I pray that it covers a wide audience. And we have on our articles, we have over 6,000 people that read these articles on a weekly basis. And in addition to that, our podcast hasn't been as taken off as it needs to, but I'm quite sure it will as we go through. Everything's new and there are tons of podcasts out there, so it's hard for people to choose. I primarily record the podcast to give you more personal introspection on what I'm talking about and how it relates. So Outside of what I just talked about, there are some Pacific leaders. There's Rosalind Brewer, who is a trailblazer in corporate America, and she has consistently leveraged her positions to advocate for diversity and inclusion, impacting far and beyond direct responsibilities. And then we have, of course, Michelle Obama, who we mentioned earlier, during and after her tenure as First Lady, she continually focused on service through initiatives like Let's Move and Reach Higher, which aimed at to improving education, health, and well-being of youth across America. So both of these examples show that service and contribution do not detract from one's power, but rather enhances it, creating a legacy of influence that really helps us to transcend personal achievement. This approach not only fulfills societal needs, but also fosters a deep sense of personal and professional fulfillment, proving that true power in leadership is achieved when we lift as we climb. Lift as we climb. Lift as we climb. So, to kind of bring this part of our discussion to a close, I like Wallace D. Wattles' concept of utilizing one's will strategically, not as a force of domination, but as a means of aligning with the universal principles to achieve significant and positive outcome. This understanding is really crucial for Black women in leadership as it combines intention with actions to create impactful changes. Next, let's talk about harnessing will. The will is more than determination and stubbornness, okay? It's a focused intention aligning our personal goals with our universal laws that we've discussed. For us as Black women or us as women, this means using our willpower not to just impose, but to inspire and guide our actions following higher principles. And guys, I'm learning how to use my will. I'm working on it. I come up with a new plan every week on this will and diet. So work with me on that. But I had to find out what's really at the core of bothering or the challenge on my side, and that's hurting that will. So some strategies for effective use of will include goal alignment, mindful decision-making, persistence and resilience, influencing change, visionary leadership. All of those are strategies for effective use of will. So what do you mean by goal alignment? So aligning your personal and professional goals with ethical standards and universal values. This alignment really ensures that we use we use the will of our support of ours to support broader, more sustainable outcomes that benefit the individual and the wider community, as we talked about in the examples, the two women, Brewer and Miss Michelle Obama. And when we talk about mindful decision making, we're talking about using willpower to make decisions that reflect our core values and our vision. This might involve choosing projects that advance social justice or promote quality or support community upliftment, or it could be enforcing the commitment to a positive change that we see need to be made. Persistence and resilience. What I mean there is applying willpower to maintain focus and resilience in facing challenges. As women, often we encounter unique obstacles. Thus, using the will to persist becomes a transformative strategy that turns barriers into stepping stones. All right? And what I meant by influential change is we need to leverage our willpower to influence and enact changes within our organization or our industry. This can include advocating for diversity and inclusion or championing new ideas and leading initiatives that really help to drive positive change in our organizations. And what about the visionary leadership? Well, there I'd like to encourage us to encourage others by example. Show how a strong will, a clear vision, and ethical actions can really create opportunities and foster a more inclusive and dynamic professional environment. So next, we're going to talk about empowering others through our will. So in order to do that, empowering others to our will, we have to effectively use our will to extend beyond the personal. It involves others, leaders like Shirley Chisholm, who used her will to challenge the status quo and open doors for others in politics. She served as an example or an exemplary role model for us. She demonstrated how Black women could wield power constructively and progressively by steadfastly pursuing our goals while upholding our values. She was a great example of that. And then the strategic use of will underscores the importance of achieving goals and doing so in a manner of really working with others. And so as we pull this section to a close, I would say Wallace D. Wattles, alongside practical applications in his lens through practical applications, we as women in our roles, in our leadership roles, we have to be true to our power. And as our power emerges from both internal, external, and from within, through self-control, self-awareness, and alignment with universal principles, really. So as we conclude our podcast for today, I want you to remember that your power is not just a facet of professional capabilities, but a testament to your inner strength. Embrace, nurture, use this power to lead with confidence and integrity. Let your leadership be a beacon that illuminates paths to success, opening doors for others to follow. Now, as I stated, I would mention the authors and thinkers whose work really resonate with the themes like those we discussed here and that were based on Wallace D. Wattles' philosophy, particularly regarding personal development, the power of thought in achieving success. We have Napoleon Hill, best known for Think and Grow Rich. Hill explores the role of personal beliefs and achieving personal and professional success. Now, really, his principles of success, including the power of mastermind groups and subconscious mind, parallel many ideal that Wattles works with. And as you'll notice, we're pulling on Napoleon Hill, a lot of things that he had with the masterminds. We're doing a lot of mastermind sessions and classes now. Wanda Byrne, The Secret. She focused on the law of attraction, which directly echoes Wattles' ideas on the power of thought to shape one's reality. And then there's James Allen. As a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. Allen's similar work, as a man thinketh, really dives into how one's thoughts influence one's circumstances, health, character, akin to Wattles' views on power of thought. And then we have Deepak Chopra, who offers a blend of spirituality and quantum physics, emphasizing how our consciousness and intentions can influence our reality. This is a modern take on some themes found in Wattles' work. And then Eric Eckhart Tolle, with a famous focus really on spiritual alignment and the power of in the present moment. The Power of Now was his book. Tolle's teaching about mindfulness and consciousness shares underpinnings with Wattles' focus on mental and spiritual alignment. And then we have Wayne Dyer. Wayne Dyer, known for The Power of Intention. Dyer explores how intentions shape our experiences and our outcomes, complementing Wattles' emphasis on the will and the power of direct thought. And so those were some of the individuals that I have read over the years, and I find that their information in Wattles was the first for me this year, but I did find how we could combine all of that into my thought process in thinking and talking to you on our podcast today, and finding things and ways to help us from a women or Black women in leadership, and some giving you some insights into some of the things that I suggest that we can do to empower ourselves to build better power for ourselves. So I'd love for you to join us next time as we continue to explore transformative strategies that empower and elevate. Please share our podcast, engage with us on social media, and bring your insights into the fold as we build a community of influential, visionary leaders. Together, guys, let's redefine leadership and achieve greatness. I will make one more comment that this week we're almost through with putting together this time management class, because people ask me, Marilyn, how do you do it? How do you dip and dive into so many different things? How do you find the time to get everything done and run the companies? Well, I have put together a time management class on how to get this done. It's a 12-part series, and I'm going to be launching that in the next week or so. And so be on the lookout for it. Until next time, I'll see you on our podcast. And I look forward to working with the new person that I will be working with on another podcast, two doctors and a twist. I am looking so forward to that as well, and looking at the amount of fun we're going to have with that, and hopefully bring you guys into the fold a little bit more there.